Hello everybody and welcome back to my laboratory. Today we're going to be covering a little tutorial, or actually just a basic introduction, not so much a tutorial, but a basic introduction on the shorter Christian prayer book. Something that I had sworn previously I would never do, but similar to the Christian prayer, which I also swore I would never do, I'm doing it. Funny story, the Christian prayer book I may have mentioned in my previous videos. A parishioner friend at my local parish had mentioned Christian prayer, and that I should suggest that I do a video on that as well. A little bit resistant to it, but no more than a couple of days later, I believe it was, somebody on the YouTube comments asked about it. So I took that as a sign, and I went ahead and did a video on it. Similar thing happened again with the shorter Christian prayer. I'd been speaking with another parishioner friend, and she had mentioned that she was using the shorter Christian prayer book. I believe that was on maybe a Tuesday, possibly on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And Sunday, this past Sunday, one of the YouTube people had asked about it as well. So again, I took it as a sign. For me, signs come in twos, not threes. So I ordered the shorter Christian prayer book on Amazon. I believe it cost me, with tax, since I have Prime, it came out to maybe $19 or so. Right off the bat, I can see the difference, at least in the sizes of it. Again, if you recall, this is the Liturgy of the Hours, the 4-volume set, which I personally rely on and favor. This is one of the 4 volumes. We are currently in ordinary time. I believe it's week 28 in ordinary time. So I'm still in here. And I also pulled out my old Christian prayer book, single volume set. So there's 4 of these, 1 of these, and the shorter Christian prayer goes even shorter. It looks almost like a little tiny flimsy, it looks almost like a little diary book. So we're going to cover that. I already went through it briefly, explored it a little bit. The layout is generally pretty similar, well, to all of it, really. If you saw my video on the Christian prayer book, that should help you as well. Just to recap the difference between what I've discovered on these here, just a general overview. 4-volume set contains everything, starting out with your invitatory, moving on to your office of readings, with a lot of readings available to you. Very rich, very multi-page readings for pretty much every day. Much more thorough. The daytime prayers, also very thorough, covers every day. And has most of, if not all of the saints up until 1992, I believe. What was most 75? Well, 1975, I guess. I think this is when it was published. So it has the saints up in there, and you have to use the alternate book for that, or more importantly, the guide. This one will give you all the new saints that were missed since the publication of the original Liturgy of the Hours book. Similar with the Christian prayer. Also comes with I don't have it in here. Also comes with a St. Joseph's guide. Helps you out along with it. The Christian prayer book is truncated. That's why it is 1 book instead of the 4 that this volume comes in. In particular, Christian prayer, initially when I had did some research on it before I bought the book, I thought that it was the only option other than the 4-volume set, and that it contained just morning and evening prayers, which is the absolute minimum that the church recommends or suggests. However, when I got it, I realized it does include morning and evening prayer, obviously. It includes a truncated, shortened version of daytime prayers, just a 1-week cycle. It includes the full night prayer, the same as in the 4-volume set. I think that was really the major differences with the single volume set. But the shorter Christian prayer, though, this one really is what I thought the regular Christian prayer book was. This even shorter version. This literally is nothing more than evening and morning prayer, as well as the the standard, nighttime prayers, the 1 week cycle of the nighttime prayers, which all 3 books have. So as a result, as you can see, it is plainly very small, since they dropped a lot of that stuff. Now, as we saw in the Christian prayer book, I'm just going to open this up and show you what we have in here. Another thing that's really convenient. Now, the Christian prayer book, it's just basic, standard. As a matter of fact, here it tells you what's in there. Morning prayer, evening prayer, daytime prayer, selections of, night prayer, and the Office of Reading with selections. That's right. The Office of Readings in here, they're not as rich as in the 4-volume set. No, they do give you some generics, just to get you started on that. If you didn't want to deal with the whole 4-volume set, this would be a good starting point with the Office of Readings. Shorter, no Office of Readings, completely eliminated. So again, that's why this is also shorter. But one of the things we had noticed in Christian prayer, and also carries over into the shorter volume. If you can see this little red section here, this red section is the Psalter. Same thing here. The red section is your Psalter. This is what everything is based off of for the liturgy, which is the all the Psalms in the Bible condensed into here for the prayers. The 4-volume set does not bother with that because every day they're just listed. There's no reason, they're not centralized anywhere. They're just, run straight through. So it makes it easier. That's why it's in, the 4-volume set. All right, so back to the basics. Also, with the Christian prayer and the 4-volume set, they do give you these nice, handy little cards, with the common text, in particular the morning prayer and evening prayer. They also throw in the invitatory and the Te Deum for the solemnities and on Sundays. That's usually done after the Office of Readings. Plainly, you don't need that in the shorter Christian prayer book because there is no Office of Readings. So they did away with that. All you really need is the invitatory psalm and the evening prayer and the morning prayer. So instead of giving you additional stuff to carry around like they did with the other books, they made this nice and easy. You know what? I wouldn't have minded if they had done this for the other books as well. Check this out. Right on the cover, morning prayer. Back cover, since it is your evening prayer. Nice and easy. Isn't that great? So that saves some time on that as well. The invitatory itself, you'd actually have to dig out from the ordinary, which we're going to cover right now. But first, actually, I just want to cover, when you open up the book here, you can see, gives you the preface, it tells you specifically, again, 4-week Psalter, containing morning prayer and evening prayer. And it covers the entire year, not just, what do you call it? Like sections, like the 4-volume breakup. And it is approved for the Diocese of the United States of America. So if you're looking at it from out of the country, you may be a little bit different. Now, the contents gives you pretty much, straightforward. Celebration of the Hours, the cycle of the 4-week Psalter, the ordinary 4-week Psalter, night prayer, proper of seasons, proper of saints, very truncated as you can see. Office for the dead, memorials, hymns, and indices. Let's see. 4-week Psalter. All right, then it does continue a little bit of the preface here, introduction of what it is. This is all stuff you can read if you'd like. One of the things I did notice that here it is. This is great as well. On page 13 of this book, it does give you the general layout, similar to the formats that I've covered before. If you've not seen any of the other videos that I've made, I suggest you familiarize yourself with them. Check out the introduction to the 4-volume set. Check out the Christian prayer book itself. All the knowledge gained in that will help you with this. I read some complaints. Some people said it was very difficult to follow through, which I can agree with, especially the starting point. Like I said, I spent some time with it, trying to figure it out, and I think I got a little bit of a handle on it. So hopefully, this will help you if you're just starting out and you just picked up this book to begin with. View the other videos. It will help you understand this video, this video, and this this version of the Office. All right, but again, it tells you the layout, much as you have already learned. Introduction. The morning prayer begins with the invitatory, as all days do. Lord, open my lips and my mouth will proclaim your praise. And then the psalm is said. Usually 95, like I said, on my common text card, they give you Psalm 95 right off the bat. So that's the one I tend to use. One of these days I'll memorize it completely. But as I read it, it flows naturally. And you can choose any one of them if you want to mix it up throughout the days. The antiphons, we're going to cover that a little bit later, where you find those. Concludes with glory to the Father. So it's pretty good. It does lay it out nice. Same thing with morning and evening prayers. Gives the introduction. It's not this one. Glory to the Father. God, come to my assistance. Here it is. Evening and night prayer begins with, God, come to my assistance. Lord, make haste to help me. Glory to the Father, to the Son, to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and will be forever. Amen. As you can see here, Alleluia is omitted during Lent. Introduction, then followed by a hymn. Then the morning prayer is broken up into the Psalm, Old Testament Canticle, Psalm with their antiphons. Same thing, evening prayer, 2 Psalms and a New Testament Canticle with their antiphons. The reading, responsory, the Gospel Canticle, Mary or Zechariah, that depends on your time of day. Zechariah is in your morning, Mary is your evening. With his antiphon, I don't know why they get that backwards like that, but anyway, intercessions, followed by the Lord's Prayer, and then the concluding prayer. Flip to the next page. Night prayer, same thing. It's been covered in all 3 of the other volumes. I mean, or the other 2 versions of this office as well. Now, this was a little bit confusing initially. Again, if you would just pick this book up, you could get lost real easily just trying to figure out your 4-week Psalter. It gives you starting points where you begin your week 1s. First Sunday, Monday, after the baptism, first Sunday of Lent, Easter Sunday, and the Monday after Pentecost. So they want you to do some hijinks of some acrobatics, trying to figure out where you are in the Psalter. If you're starting out in ordinary time, it's real easy. Again, it doesn't look like it from here because it looks like you got to do some kind of mathematics. But here's a little trick that I figured out. Usually, if you have a church bulletin, if you're attending your Sunday masses regularly, a lot of times they actually tell you what week you're in. My church in particular does so. I printed out last week's bulletin because they have not yet put this week's bulletin up on the website that they have. But as you can see, today is actually the 14th, I believe. It's a Monday. But my Monday is actually the 28th Sunday in ordinary time. So this was last Sunday's. So I know that it's it's the 28th Sunday in ordinary time. So if I refer back to my shorter Christian prayer book, again, there's the Psalter. And right after the Psalter is usually the night prayer. Here's your night prayer. And after the night prayer, there's the antiphons for the Blessed Virgin Mary. Again, this is all covered in the other 2 video series, the Christian prayer and the 4-volume set. Here we go. Proper seasons. Again, Advent season, Advent, Christmas, Epiphany, Baptism of the Lord. Keep going. Where was it? It's like 500s. Yeah, these are all important holidays in the year, because again, this is a condensed version kind of covering the entire year. So on those special cases, you'll have to refer to these sections. But we're trying to find our location now, and here we go, ordinary time. And look at that, first week in ordinary time, more importantly, tells you in the Psalter where to go. So I know, again, from it's the 27th Sunday in ordinary time. So I will find my 27th Sunday in ordinary time. Well, 28th actually now. So there's my 28th Sunday in ordinary time. Psalter, week 4. And today is Monday. So I have already flagged that out. They only give you 1 ribbon on this book. And I am on Monday, week 4. And this was my morning already. I did take the time to compare it with the Christian prayer and the 4-book version, and they do match. So there's no concern there. Again, there is no St. Joseph's Guide, so that's going to throw you off a little bit. But once you find your place in the liturgical year, you can find where you are in your Psalter. Or if you just want to punish yourself, you could just refer back to their little guide here and try to figure out where you are. Right now it's 2019, so if you want to track back all the way back to the Monday after Pentecost, you could find yourself, and then advance yourself through that. Or if you could find one of these, we're not near Advent yet, so it's a couple months away. Right after the baptism, first Sunday of Lent, Easter Sunday, they're all, as you can see, a little bit, what do you call it? They're not near October 14th or whatever today is. So it's easier just to find yourself in ordinary time. Once you get in here, you're fine. Now let's go back to the ordinary. Hopefully I didn't confuse you too much on all of that. But the ordinary itself is in the beginning of this one. I believe it was in this. Yeah, it's in the center of the Christian prayer book. I marked these with purple tags. They are, this is the ordinary. Same thing with the 4-volume set. I marked mine with my purple tag, and it's in the ordinary, in the middle of the book. The shorter Christian prayer, they move it right to the front. I'm assuming just to make it easier for you. So it's past this, and it was right into your ordinary. Now again, the ordinary is your friend. Follow through your ordinary. Look through it. Analyze it. Memorize it. Study it. Tattoo it into your brain. Do whatever you need to do. This is how you're going to begin. Now, as I mentioned, it always begins with the invitatory. Lord, open my lips and my mouth will proclaim your praise. And then with the psalm. In here, here's another confusing thing that they're going to try to throw at you. These are the antiphons. For the invitatory, you're supposed to use in ordinary time, weeks 1 and 3. Ordinary time, weeks 2 and 4. There's one for every day of the week. And during Advent season, you would use these. Christmas season, you would use these. Lenten season, Easter season. During solemnities, specific solemnities and feasts, which are all in the back of the book as well. So you can see all these. Now, this can get a little confusing because you just want to do your antiphon. So what do you do? Well, guess what? In addition to being listed here in the most confusing way possible that they could imagine, they're also already here. There's my Monday, week 4. Come, let us sing joyful songs to the Lord. All right. There's weeks 2 and 4, and it's Monday. Come, let us sing joyful songs to the Lord. So they're already in your Psalter. Don't panic when you see, 3 pages of, 4 or 5 pages of antiphons, and you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing. It's right there. You can pull it right out of the Psalter. There's your Psalm 95, already, popped in there for you. So you can just thumb through that, earmark it, whatever. There's your alternate invitatory psalms. Morning prayer. There it is. Hymn. Yeah, there's your morning prayer again. You start out with the hymn, then your psalmody, and it tells you exactly what they're supposed to be. The psalms taken from the current week of the Psalter. During Advent, Christmas, Lent, and Easter, they're taken from the proper seasons. The readings, response, and the gospel canticle for your morning is Zechariah, Mary for the evening. As a matter of fact, here is the actual canticle. So you don't need the card. It is the same exact canticle that they put in the cover. So you can either read it from your ordinary, or you could read it from the cover of the book. Probably be easier to read it from the cover than to try to stick your finger in 27, because like I said, they only give you one ribbon. So you're on your own on that. Unless you put like a little holy card in there or something. Same thing, follows through. Intercessions, tells you where to find them. Found in the Psalter, except during these seasons, which they'll be in the proper seasons, which we'll mention in a second. Concluding prayers, intercessions, Lord's Prayer, concluding prayer. Same thing with the evening. Same exact thing with the evening. Again, this is not a tutorial on how to pray the entire thing, the entire liturgy here. That's already been done a couple of times, I believe. Using the 4-volume set, maybe even using the Christian prayer. I don't recall exactly what my what videos I have up there at this point, but it's all been covered, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. Look at the videos, follow the walkthroughs. I know I did a walkthrough, for a full complete day, doing a weekday. I think I did solemnities, feasts, memorials. I did all of that stuff. It's all the same format, and it will cover everything. So we're not going to be going through the entire thing like that. You should already have figured out how to work it through. This is specifically just showing you an introduction to this book to get you started. All right, so now we've covered the evening prayer. We've already gone through the 4-week Psalter. As you can see, there's the 4-week Psalter. The whole red section is the 4-week Psalter, followed by night prayer. There's your night prayer, followed by the Antiphons of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and then the Proper of Seasons. This is what they were referring to earlier. Again, here are some specific antiphons for your invitatory, just as they mentioned it in the front of the book, with that long, confusing, list of antiphons. They're already here. Antiphons for the invitatory during Advent up until the 16th. Come, let us worship the Lord. From the 17th to the 23rd. Bam. 24th. And you just follow that through. There's your stuff. Remember, you sleeve this stuff in to your regular Sunday. As you can see, they follow what the antiphons are from the current day in the Psalter. So this Sunday, I don't know what it will be in Advent, but it would be whatever Sunday it is, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. You would just refer to your Psalter, and you would just fill that in. The reading and the responsory, the antiphon for the canticle, your intercessions, and your concluding prayer will all replace what is in the regular Psalter for that day of the week. Which is plainly Sunday, but it's also week 1, 2, 3, or 4. So that covers all of those. Lenten season, they give you special instructions for here as well. Baptism of the Lord was previous to that. These are all important Sundays, important weeks, important days. They seem to use a lot. I think during the Advent week, and maybe even the Lenten weeks, you just pretty much recycle the same 1-week cycle, because obviously Lenten season is 40 days. So instead of doing the Psalter for that entire period, revolving through weeks 1, 2, 3, or 4, you would just follow whatever the week they specify here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you would just recycle that. So instead of switching over to another Psalter, you would just flip back in your book back to Monday or Sunday and continue. Passion Sunday. All right, now the other thing, because they do have you doing hymns. Here's your ordinary time again. That should get you out of that. Here's some saints. Proper of Saints. Again, seems to be a shorter one. Major feasts they show here. So maybe right. Yeah, see, look, they even mentioned it over here. The full variety will be found in the Liturgy of the Hours. When they say that, they're referring to the 4-volume set, and Christian Prayer, which is the second set. This one here only contains a selection of text so that the major feasts of the proper saints may be taken into account. So again, it's a truncated version by design, so you will have a shorter amount of saints to be done through here. As a matter of fact, it was only how many pages was that? That's embarrassing. 558. That's June. Proper Saints. February 2nd, it's not 558. Was that 15 pages? That's it. 15 pages down to the saints. You didn't buy the book for completeness. That's the point here. There are some commons here. Not many, actually. I don't think there are any commons. There's no commons here. That's all right. Again, that's usually for the Office of Readings anyway. Hymns. This week hymns. Now, in the beginning here, they do give you some hymns that you can choose from during Advent, Christmas, Holy Family celebration, Mary Mother of God, Epiphany, Baptism of the Lord, Pentecost, Holy Week, Ascension. They give you a whole bunch of options to choose in here. Ordinary time, you can choose any of these. And these are actually followed shortly by the actual hymns themselves. So they give you, again, with these little red tab marks here, give you all the hymns that they have, which looks to be 185 hymns. And that concludes it. The indices. And there's the canticles. That's that. Bing, bing, bing. And there's your evening prayer canticle. The canticle of Mary. So again, it's a general overview. It's still in line with the other two forms of the liturgy, the actual Liturgy of the Hours itself, the Christian prayer, and the shorter Christian prayer. They all use the same Psalter. They have different additional features. Plainly, you can see it starts with the shortest, not even a word, with the shortest collection. I think I can't get any smaller than this, to be honest. Like I said, the church recommends strongly that the laity at least perform morning and evening prayer. They do add the night prayer in here as well, which is consistent across all three. So I guess theoretically they could have a shorter Christian prayer by just dropping out those few pages for the for the night prayer. But I don't see them doing that anytime soon. I mean, come on, this thing is small enough. Like I said, it's small enough to fit in the coat pocket. It looks like a little journal. You can just write a little diary, like my nightmare dreams that I had and whatever. So the Christian prayer, they fleshed it out a little bit more. They gave you office of readings, not a whole lot of them. Not a full collection, but some better than none. They also gave you some daytime selections as well. So they puffed that out a little bit and turn this thing into was it 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 times the size of the shorter version. And then of course, the big daddy of them all, 4 volumes. So that's 4, 3 more of these stacked on here. Put them out there. Bang. So that pretty much covers it. So the shorter Christian prayer, if you're really pressed on time, you really have decided that you only want to do morning and evening prayers and that's it, you have no interest in doing anything else, you might as well pick it up. Like I said, it's a little bit tough to find your place, where to begin, but that can easily, if you're in ordinary time, grab your church bulletin, find out what Sunday you are in ordinary time. Ordinary time seems to be right kind of in the middle of the book. Oh, no, actually, sorry, my bad. Maybe in the last quarter or so of the book, we'll give you some of your ordinary time. If you're in one of the high holier times, again, you can follow through with where is it? You can follow through with your cycle for the 4-week Psalter and find your beginning point. Once you find your beginning point, you're pretty much rock solid. As long as obviously if you're doing it every day, or even if you miss a day or two, it's not going to throw you completely off balance. You can easily follow through. You're in week 1. Next week's week 2. The week after that's week 3 and the week 4, and then you can go back to week 1. So once you find your initial starting point, you're good. The only time you may have a problem is if if you're yanking on the ribbon and you pop that out and now you have no idea where you were. Where was I? That was week 4. Week 4 and it was Monday. Week 4 Monday. Week 4 Monday. There's morning prayer. It's actually going to be evening soon. It's like, 3 o'clock right now. Well, I got to do my daytime prayer soon. So we'll go for Monday evening. Line that up. I'm done. So like I said, if you're looking for something shorter, this could be your ticket. If you want to flesh it out a little bit more, Christian prayer. Again, if you have a little bit more time during the day and you want to explore daytime prayer a little bit and some office of readings, just see what it's all about, that would be your bet. If you want to be complete and do everything as originally intended, and you have the time and the desire, 4-volume set, Liturgy of the Hours, ordinary time, that's where we are right now. Well worth it. Again, this one you can buy in 4 individual volumes so you don't take the huge hit at once. I believe these are probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, this leather-bound stuff, like $37 to $40 each. 4, 8, 12, 16. Yeah, probably somewhere in that neighborhood. Similar pricing on this one. By about 30 to $40 if I recall correctly. Single book. And the cheapest one yet. This one was $15.99 on Amazon. With with tax to Jersey, but no shipping because I have Prime. It was like $19 and change. I did see one on Goodwill. I wasn't sure what came with the book though, so I spent a couple of extra dollars just to get a brand new one so I can make sure that everything was there. If there was anything, unfortunately, there was absolutely nothing other than the book itself, which I guess is what you're really buying for that cheaper of a price. But there was one on Goodwill, so if you're seeing this video now, it is October 14th, 2019, and they had one for sale for $5.99 plus some shipping. I think it came out to a total of something like $12 or $13 total. So get it now. They only had one. All right, and it was used, but like I said, there's not much to it. Simple book, short book. Hopefully, I helped you with that a little bit. I know I'm rambling. I'm just in a good mood today. So, if you have any questions, just post them in the comments section. I will try to answer it as best as I can. I do have all the books now, the 3 forms of the liturgy, so I can assist by referencing it. And I do like doing that. I answer whenever I can, which is usually pretty frequently and and timely. So don't hesitate to ask questions. I really like this stuff, and I like helping others. So with that, I'm going to conclude this video before I drag it on any longer. Thank you again for your time. I appreciate you coming to view my videos and learning a little bit about how to pray the Liturgy of the Hours. And God bless. Good luck, and keep those comments coming. Thank you. Bye-bye.